In 2017, you separated as a duo and went your separate ways. What happened?
Do you remember how Psquare dominated the charts from the early 2000s to the 2010s?
I like it.
Strutting the African stage, Nigerian hip-hop artists like Psquare are selling out arenas across Africa.
I like their music. They're one of the biggest fans also.
I love them so much.
It was hard to imagine a time when their music wouldn't be blasting from every speaker in Nigeria. But here we are. So stick around as we dive into the downfall of Psquare. If you grew up in Nigeria between 2000 and 2010, you know hip-hop was everything. And right at the heart of that scene was Psquare. These twins weren't just big. They were the soundtrack to our lives. From Busybody to Get Squared, no party was complete without their tracks turning the vibe all the way up. Together with their brother, Jude Okoye, they kept hitting the right notes and winning fans all over. Their journey included a series of blockbuster albums, Get Squared in 2005, Game Over in 2007, and Double Trouble in 2014. The twin brothers were raised in a family-oriented household, so they were interested in following the same path. Peter took the lead as he married Lola Omatayo in 2013 after they had dated for 7 years, while Paul married his longtime girlfriend, Anita, in 2014. Paul and Anita had been dating since his days at the University of Abuja in 2004, so walking down the aisle a decade later was an amazing sight to behold. Shortly after Paul got married, the Psquare brothers felt the need to be close, so they bought houses next to each other in the United States. Yeah, that was really sweet until things changed. By 2016, there were several rumors of a rift between the two brothers. At first, it seemed like a regular argument between siblings, but in reality, it was the beginning of the end. The rumors got worse in 2017 after Peter started making outspoken claims against Paul, most of which were centered around how they shared their income. You'd think that after coming so far, the Okoye brothers would have figured out a sharing formula for their earnings. But then, here it was, playing out right before our eyes. According to Peter, most of the money issues originated from their brother Jude, who took more than he should as their manager. In his words, it was almost as if they worked for Jude. Besides money, there were also issues of the choice of songs to feature on their albums. Peter felt powerless most times, and to him, Jude and Paul were the ones who controlled the group. On one such occasion, Peter claimed that Paul canceled their US tour without discussing it with him. But the worst was when Paul allegedly threatened Peter's family and instigated people to send threatening messages to his wife. For Peter, the events were quite shocking, and there was just no way he could continue with the Psquare franchise in such conditions.
Some people say, Paul is the real, he's the real voice of Psquare, you should go back. But that's the reason why I left. And you think you making that statement will make me go back?
This was when Peter first considered leaving the group. If not for anything, he did it for his family. You see, the issues between the brothers actually started back in 2012 when Peter demanded that Jude step down as their manager. But Jude wasn't just going to leave Psquare with all those juicy benefits. Not at all. It was more than just a fight over his role as their manager. Jude was naturally closer to Paul, and they formed a sort of tag team against Peter, or so he felt. One such time is when Paul refused to perform in videos that featured Peter, basically undermining him. And if you think that's bad enough, wait until you hear how Paul spread word that Peter doesn't actually write songs.
This is how we normally work.
Okay.
So one person gets a song, go and finish it.
Okay.
Do the first verse, do the second, finish the song. Then you come, I bring, if it's me that did the song, I say, okay, I don't finish it, I prefer to do the first verse. You see the second verse.
Okay, I get it.
Peter left the group months later, and at the time, it seemed like he was making the best decision for himself. He moved out of their side-by-side mansion with his family and started afresh. While Peter devoted himself under the new name Mr. P, Paul did the same under the new name Rude Boy. Anyway, it wasn't the same as it was when they were together. Their careers took a nosedive as soon as they split, and fans couldn't really get along with the split twin brothers' careers. While they still registered a couple of hits in their solo careers, it was nowhere near the numbers they did as a duo. Their endorsements and promotional deals also vanished, and although they weren't broke, they weren't as rich as they could have been. The once mighty and popular Psquare name in the music scene was nowhere to be found. However, the twin brothers were often seen in interviews adding more fuel to their feud. Peter once mentioned during an interview that fans should not expect Psquare's return.
They have this thing like, oh, but we still want you guys together. Why? Okay, you can still do your separate stuff and still do it together. I don't think it's happening. I'm moving forward.
Peter even dug deeper, saying some people claimed he was under pressure, hence his strong reason for constantly releasing solo tracks, but he said it was nothing like that. Peter claimed he wasn't feeling pressured by his brother or anyone around him, he just wanted to do his thing. Shortly after Peter's interview, Paul also had his chance to drop his 2 cents about the situation.
It's normal. It's life. It's normal for me. It's life, but I always tell people, don't ever take your family outside. Whatever it is, try and solve it.
Paul indirectly referred to Peter's social media outburst about their fight as immature behavior.
Repeat it. See, repeat it. Peter, shame on you. Peter, boss, shame on you. No, stop it. Boss, shame on you.
The war between the twin brothers got more intense in 2020 following a spat between Peter's wife, Omatayo, and Paul. I guess she thought the dust was settling when she decided to wish her husband's twin a happy birthday. But what she got in return was an appalling response that got the public wondering what must have gone wrong. Paul claimed Omatayo was a hypocrite who caused the separation from his brother. On his Instagram story, he alleged that Omatayo had always wanted to be in control, and that she was the reason Peter hadn't spoken to him and their older brother in 4 years. He also described Omatayo as an evil person trying to maintain a good and angelic image for the public. As you might be thinking, Paul's revelation caused a huge stir on social media. Fans started making up several theories about the real reason for the twins' split. Some fans even claimed the split happened because Paul and Jude were not in support of Peter getting married to Omatayo. But no one can get into another person's love interest, so if that claim's true, Peter really preferred to split with the Okoye brothers rather than let the love of his life slip through his fingers. The controversial split went on for about a year after Paul's Instagram outburst without any sign of reconciliation. But things took an interesting turn when Peter went on Instagram Live to blame fans for Psquare's split.
You're a Psquare angry fan. You guys don't matter anymore. It's not about you guys anymore, it's about us. Go and deal with your soul. Don't let me hit on you because you guys don't even deserve it. Because you guys are among the people that contributed the thing. 2 brothers doing their own thing. You try to say one is better than one.
And he was right. The brothers had endured an unhealthy comparison of their musical talents even in the good years. And guess who drove such conversations? Their fans. Of course, we can't rule out the role of their rift and how their careers turned sour. But their fans surely deserve some of the blame. For a long time, fans have been known to compare different artists to see who's better instead of just appreciating each one's uniqueness. However, the Psquare dedicated fans were filled with joy in their hearts after the twin brothers announced their reconciliation in November 2021. The public wasn't sure if it was their consistent plea or that of some really important figures in the country that gave way to the brothers' reunion, but it was still a beautiful thing to witness. Photos and videos showed Peter and Paul shaking hands and hugging in Peter's home in Lagos, with Omatayo and Jude Okoye also in attendance. After their reconciliation, the twin brothers shed more light on the reason behind their split. Peter mentioned that he and his brother had their personal faults that led to the outburst. While Paul would prefer some songs, Peter wouldn't be in sync, and that kept happening till they couldn't keep it under control anymore. Fast forward to 2022, the twin brothers reenacted their Psquare franchise, announcing their reunion world tour that lasted for 6 months. The Psquare brothers also teased the release of an album in 2023. However, it never got released. Instead, Rude Boy fueled rumors of another breakup by releasing a solo song. Anyway, we can only wish the twin brothers the best and hope they attain their full potential once again.